Day 16 of Storytime by Robert Williams. And we have Marvel's Avengers Warp Team Machine. Teamwork. One day, while the other Avengers were training, Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, was working on some new tech. Sometimes Tony felt very different from the other Avengers. They all had superhuman abilities. Well, except for Black Widow and Hawkeye, but they didn't really count. Their combat skills were way beyond what any normal human could do. All Tony had was his Iron Man suit. When Tony got to the training room, the heroes were messing around. Tony scratched his head. What am I looking at here? Come on, Stark, said Hawkeye. Lighten up. We're just waiting for our next mission. There's no crime to stop right now. So that's where you superhumans fall short, thought Tony. Time, I can fix that. Over the next few days, Tony worked on combining specific elements of his Stark tech to create a powerful new tool. But before long, Tony Stark had created a time machine. Then messing around him, creating a time machine. Tony suited up for a test run and stepped onto the time machine. Jarvis, set time for 2099, calculate crime ratios and synchronize the coordinates. Yes, sir, replied Jarvis. Just like that, Iron Man was zapped to the year 2019, where the Chitauri were attacking a group of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Iron Man sprang into action, swiftly taking down the enemy with blasts from his coordinates. When they were defeated, Iron Man hit the button on his wrist. He was back in his lab a few moments later. That afternoon, Iron Man called the Avengers into his lab to reveal his amazing new invention, but Captain America didn't think messing with time was a good idea. Iron Man temper flared. No kidding, old man. I don't take being a superhero lightly, unlike some people. Captain America's eyes narrowed. How does everyone feel about this? This is a democracy after all. The other Avengers thought fighting crime in whatever time period was a good idea. Here are your missions, said Iron Man. Them arguing and then all of the Avengers. Black Widow and Hawkeye, Jarvis announced, prepare to travel to 1840. The pair were suddenly outside Buckingham Palace when Queen Victoria was under attack. Under their stealth and speed, the heroes took down the attacker. Then with a push of the button, they were back at the lab. Captain America, Hulk and Thor battled evil robot wolves in year 4029. Ah, woo! Thor howled. After defeating the robots, they zapped back to the lab. Soon it was Iron Man's turn. This time, the time machine rattled violently, too violently. Iron Man arrived in the year 1792. A masked man came around the corner using a blaster to destroy a local village. Iron Man and the masked rider fired their weapons at each other, and everything suddenly went dark. Iron Man opened his eyes. He was on the ground. He looked around. Then he saw the villain ride round the corner again. So Iron Man got up. They both fired their weapons again. The same thing kept happening again and again. I'm stuck in a time loop, said Iron Man. He had no idea how to escape. Back in the lab, the team realized Iron Man was in trouble. They looked through Tony's plans, looking for a way to bring him back. Finally, the crew came up with a plan. It didn't work. If it didn't work, Iron Man would be stuck forever. Black Widow pointed her gauntlets at the machine. Suddenly, the circuitry's destroying the circuitry. Suddenly, the portal opened and the strange desert scene leapt into action. I'm coming, buddy. Captain America jumped through the portal and protected Iron Man with his vibranium shield. Oomph! The villain cried out in surprise before falling on his horse. Off his horse. The time loop had been broken. As the portal started to close, Captain Iron Man jumped through it along with the captured villain. The time machine was completely broken. Iron Man decided not to try and fix it. "You're right, Cap," he said. "Time travel isn't something to take lightly." Cap put his arm around his friend. "Good advice, even from an old man like me." They